Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the Q8 Pilot channel. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours local time here in Kuwait City, Kuwait. What a treat from the Fly-by-Wire team releasing the long-awaited, highly anticipated A380 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is quite historical for flight simulation. This is the very first, I would say, a proper, for the lack of a better term, A380 for flight sim that we can enjoy. It's the result of 4 years of hard work by hundreds of contributors to this project. Before we begin, I'd like to welcome all of you guys. We have with us today Dougal Mektavish. Welcome aboard, my friend Stan. Welcome aboard. And Alex Starwing at 750. Good evening to you, my friend. Welcome aboard, guys. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing an inaugural flight. This is EK or Emirates Flight 853 service from Dubai International Airport to Kuwait International Airport. This is actually a real-world flight. The A380 used to fly from Dubai to Kuwait during the high summer season. I think the route has been decommissioned now, and the 777 has been replaced to fly this route from Dubai to Kuwait. Nonetheless, I felt that it was a nice route to fly the inaugural flight here on the Twitch channel. Good evening to you, my friend, and welcome. So, the first thing that we're going to be taking a look at, as we normally do, is the beautiful texturing and the detailed 3D model of the A380 by Fly-by-Wire. And again, this is totally free, and I cannot really accept any criticism of the of this project simply because it's free. There's a lot of work that's been put into it, and the results are quite amazing considering this is free. So let's go ahead, and I'm not sure what Microsoft Flight Sim is acting up today here with panning the camera as it usually does. Hello, Dita321. Welcome aboard. Good evening to you. It's good to be back, my friend. All right, so we're going to hop here to the cockpit. As you can see, a very authentic representation of the A380, very well built aircraft, very, very nice. If you look here at the wing, at the engines, everything is just done with a lot of finesse, a lot of care. Of course, not all the aircraft systems are simulated, but nonetheless, a lot of the systems have been simulated. One thing that you'll notice is the beautiful texturing and the attention to details. You can see the thumbs there on the displays. You can see the beautiful texture work here. Look at that. It's got this worn look to the panel here. Just really, really very, very nice attention to details. The texturing is some of the best that I have seen, and it looks a lot better than many of the payware aircraft that cost a lot more than free. So yeah, I mean, they've done a really good job. And of course, we are going to be taking a look at the cabin. I'm not sure why it's acting up today. And I'm, by the way, using the 4K the 4K version of the aircraft because I'm obviously using frame generation. So that is the recommended version to use if you're using frame generation. Looking here over at the overhead panel, again, a very nicely developed and textured modeled overhead panel with, again, a lot of attention to details and some really, really nice touches there on the adheres knobs, as you can see here. Lovely, lovely work, excuse me, by Fly-by-Wire. The whoever has done the texturing. I've seen some videos on the Blue Experience channel with an interview of the guy who's done the texturing, and let me tell you, this is high quality. This is really superb texturing of the aircraft 3D cockpit. Very, very nice. Once we're airborne, we're going to be taking a look, of course, at the cabin as well, which is, by the way, very, very nicely done as well. So without further ado, let's get things started here. We are first going to go to the electronic flight bag here. Very nicely done again by FlyByWire. And we're going to click here to import the SimBrief flight plan. This is an alpha build, far superior. Yes, absolutely, Dougal. Absolutely. It is just really, really very well done. Full Navigraph support, some failures there as well, which of course they copied, I think, the module from their A320. But nonetheless, really, really very, very well done aircraft. And considering it's an alpha, it's in a very, very good state, I have to say. All right, so our route today is a departure runway 30 right from Dubai International through the Rida to Foxtrot departure, and we are going to be arriving at Kuwait International runway 15 left through the Det 3 Echo arrival. I was hoping to get the 3 Delta arrival because it is just a nicer approach into Kuwait with the Kuwait towers and the city to our left. In this case, we're going to fly by the Kuwait Free Trade Zone, by the Kuwait port, into a runway 15 left. Still a nice arrival into Kuwait, but you know the 3 Delta is much nicer. Hello. Alex says the flyby are aware of the performance and will be attended to quickly. Yes, 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 of course. Okay, so now we have the flight plan here. And if we go to, again, I'm not going to waste time today with the GSX. So we're just going to go straight to the services. We have the ground power. I believe it's already connected. So we're just going to simply click here to fill the aircraft with the fuel. As you can see, we're carrying 31,000 kilograms of fuel, or 310 tons of fuel. We're going to go here to the payload, and I have everything again on instant. Lovely to see the upper and the main decks here. We're flying 484 passengers. Normally, this flight, when Emirates operated this route to Kuwait, it used to be really just jam-packed. It was just full all the way, especially the economy class was completely full. So we are good here. We have everything ready, and now we can come and do our checks. We're going to make sure that the ignition switch is on normal and the landing gear is down. We're going to move here and start the external power. Very, very nice sounds as well aboard this A380. Battery 1, essential battery, I guess, essential. Battery 2, APU bat is on. And then we're going to do our checks here. We're going to go to the cruise supply. And let's see here. Cruise supply is on. And do we have ground control on this? Yeah, we do have ground control. Doesn't work, though. So we're going to come here to the ADIRS. IR1, nav, 2 on nav, and 3 on nav. We're going to come here and do a quick test for the engine and APU. And next we're going to come to the lights. Strobe lights on auto, nav lights are on, and we're going to arm the emergency lights, mobile on actually. And actually put this on auto and put the seatbelt signs on. Okay, next we're going to turn on all the fuel pumps. Now, one thing I noticed is steering this aircraft on the ground is a bit of a challenge due, I suppose, to its size and weight. All right, everything here is good. The engineer panel, NSS data to avionics is on, and everything here is good. All right, now we can go to the Mukdu, but before we do so, we need to bring the brightness up a little bit here, so let's do that. There we go, MFD, and we're going to do the same thing down here. There we go. Excellent. And next we are going to do the first officer side. There, bring some lights there. Things are a bit dark. There we go. Excellent. Now everything looks good, and we can actually increase the lights here. I love that. Just look at the colors there. All right, well, we're going to switch this to Q. All right. So to hectopascal, I suppose. Yeah, hectopascal. All right, perfect. Sky check. Good evening, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. Okay, everything is good here, and we can now go directly to the McDo. Now, if you have previously flown the A350 in X-Plane, this should be second nature, should be very, very easy to do. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the fuel. Actually, let's do flight plan. And if we go to perf, all right, so let's go to init, there we go. And what we're going to do is just click on company flight request, and it says uplink insert in progress, and that should pull everything from SimBrief and populate the data for us here in the initialization page. So we'll just give it a few moments here to look at the door page here. Very nicely done. And again, if you consider how many of the systems have been, all right, so the plan has been received. We go to insert, and now you have the flight plan and everything else here, cruise level, the cost index, and all that stuff. Perfect. Okay, next we can go to the fuel and load. We can go to the flight plan. So let's go to the flight plan. Let's go to the flight plan first. And I'm going to bring up the, let's see here. What do I want to bring up? I want to bring up my, let's see here. All right. So we're going to bring up the Navigraph charts. And we're going to go to, Boris has absolutely nailed the sounds for this too. The guy is a machine. Yes, indeed. He is. He is. All right. So we are going to be departing Dubai today. Departure runway 30 right. And the SID is the Rida 2 Foxtrot. So Rida 2 Foxtrot. There we go. And temporary insert the temp plan, and now we have this here. Everything here looks good. Next, we're going to go to Kuwait, and we're going to select 15 left for the arrival. The approach is the 15 left Yankee via the Evita. Star is the 3 Echo arrival. There we go. There is no transition, and we're going to say insert. Now we can go down here to make sure there are no discontinuities in our flight plan. And it looks like there aren't. I didn't see the TD and the TC, though. Maybe we'll see them later. Yeah, so far I did not see them. I'm sure I've seen them in my previous flights, but that's okay. All right. We can go to the fuel and load now, and we can start setting things up here. So if we go to our electronic flight back, the zero fuel is 350. So 350 is fine. We're just going to put 350 in here. And the block fuel is, if we go to the fuel page, 30310. So we're going to put 310. Right? Didn't like that. Entry out of range. Okay, clear the info. Oops. I'm not sure what happened there, but let's delete that stuff. Okay, 310. Ah, I know what I'm doing wrong here. Okay, so it's 331. Okay, so we're gonna put 31. Let's see here. 31. There we go. 31 tons. Image Seeker, welcome aboard. And we have also Ethan. Is it Ethan? ETH. Ether River. Evan. Welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome, and thank you very much, Image Seeker, for your subscription. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got the zero fuel center of gravity let's see here, zero fuel CG is 3424. So 3434.2. Insert that. Perfect. Everything else here is good, so we don't need to change anything here. Okay, so that is done here. Let's go and start the APU. And once you click on the APU master, you'll notice that it automatically switches to the APU page. Says flap is moving. So we're waiting for the flap to open. And once the flap is open, we can now click here and start the APU. Brilliant. And now we can see the EGT rising and the APU is spooling up. Perfect. Okay, so the only thing that is remaining now in terms of our flight plan is the perf page. Now, for the perf page, for the calculations, we will need the SimBrief calculations. This is still not implemented here, so it doesn't automatically change it. And we're going to need this figure here for the THS, which is the horizontal stabilizer. So we're going to enter here 36%. Okay, 36 is set. We're going to do flaps 1. And now we're going to do actually flex temperature. And we can get this information from our SimBrief page here. If we go to the takeoff performance, and you'll see 44, 46, 151, flex 66. Okay, so 44, 46, 51, 144, 146, and 151. There we go. And the flex temperature is 66. And insert that. And we are pretty much ready here to get going. I'm glad you're back on. Well, I'm glad to be back, my friend. Thank you very much again for the subscription. Yes, it's been a long time. I am Areas 31. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us this evening. All right, so everything here is set, and we're going to set this one here to the flight plan. I wonder if we get the TC. Ah, there we go. Now we have the TC, and the TD. Perfect. Okay. All right. So now everything is in tip-top shape. All right. And APU is available. So we're going to come here, turn on the APU bleed, and we're going to turn off the external power. There we go. Excellent. And everything now is actually ready. We are ready to push and start. So we can set up the QNH to 14. We're going to set the altitude to our final cruise altitude, which is 36,000 feet. 36. Normally, for this route, you get either flight level 360 or 380. Great to see you up and running again. Thank you very much, BScan22. Welcome aboard, my friend. All right, so everything here is set, and the only thing remaining now is we need to set our trim. So we'll wait for that. If we go actually to the, let's see here, which page do we need? Is it this one here? No. This one. There we go. All right, so we need to set the trim. I think we need power before we can set the trim. Pitch trim, we need to set it to exactly 36 here. So TH, did we enter that or we did not? Let me just check this here. Let's go to perf. TH is set here, and we need to set it as well in the aircraft, but that needs the aircraft to be powered. So we're going to come here now and turn on the beacon lights, and we are ready to go, ladies and gents. Let's push back and head over to the runway. By the way, one of the nice things you'll notice in this aircraft is if we go here Now it says, please wait. It's actually the zoom is when you zoom in on the aircraft layout, the airport layout. And this is something that the guys over at FlyByWire have implemented. Look at that, guys. This is so cool. Look at that. I mean, this is really, and by the way, this is exactly like it is in real life. So this is really very, very nice. Hey, Carl Childers, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us this evening. And I'm glad you could make it. And we have also Modrock. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us this evening. Thomas 13 Pilot, good evening to you, my friend. Welcome aboard. All right, so we are ready to go, and we are going to start the clock here and here. And we are ready to taxi, so let's turn on, let's call the pushback truck. So we're going to go here to GSX. And, GSX is outdated. Okay, that's fine. Prepare for pushback and departure. This issue can be solved. So when you get those jitters, the reason why I'm getting these jitters is because I'm using a resolution that is other than the native. So what I'll do is I'll come back and I will change it again, and that should fix the problem. So if you encounter that issue, it's more than likely due to, because this is SSAA. So we'll change this back to the sim and go back, resume, and voila, the issue is gone. Okay, all right, so we'll wait for this guy to come in, and yeah. It is, the frames are suffering a bit, and I'm sure that this has to do with the streaming software. So yeah, it's kind of better now. Just takes a while to load, I guess. Thank you very much, Dougal. Appreciate it, my friend. All right, so let's see what's going on. Ah, not again. All right, let me just go here and change that. We'll leave it for a while. It's just that with the resolution at the native resolution, it is much better on the frames, as you can see. But what it tends to do is, let me go to the, let's see, ground services, and yeah, everything is off here. Okay. All right. So what I do is I run the sim at 140 resolution. So that takes it to almost 4K in terms of the resolution, which gets rid of all the jitters and the shimmers that you see on the buildings. At the expense of performance, of course. So you responded to the comm center at FS Expo. Yes, that's right. All right, facing east, facing west. I have no idea which one, so we'll just say facing east on Zulu. There we go. And we'll just remember to change the resolution back because it's just much, much nicer. We didn't hear the... we didn't hear GSX telling us to... Why is that? Is it ready to... All right, well, let's come down here and say off. And I guess it will start pushing the aircraft. There we go. We are pushing back, ladies and gents. And we are now clear to start our engines. So we're going to come here, engine mode selector to ignition start. And we're going to start with engine number 4. There we go. Engine number 4 starting. Just look at that view, guys. Look at those wings. Just absolutely gorgeous. All right. Very nice sounds as well on the engine sounds are quite nice as well. All right. There we go. We can see the engine there starting. Our runway is right there. Oops. Right over there. Very nicely created aircraft, very nicely developed, textured. Again, the work that you're seeing here is a result of 4 years of dedication. FlyByWire, thank you very much for each and every person that has worked on this aircraft and made it possible for us to enjoy this this A380 in the sim. Right, there we are. We are pushing back. We can start engine number 1. There we go. What is it complaining about here? Transponder on standby. Yes, it is. Although the engines can be started together in pairs, it's going to start 1 and 2 separately, then 3 and 4 together. Oh, okay. That's good to know. I kind of start in the sequence of the 747 Dougal. So there we go. That's us right there, and that's our runway 30 right. Just lovely. Just, you know, the implementation of this on its own must have taken a ton of work and a ton of hours to complete the development of this you know, airport chart display here on the, all right, engines available. So let's start number 2 and number 3 together. There we go. Okay, we'll just wait for the push to complete. I think I might have the sound. I might need to select the speakers there, and that's why GSX is not we can't hear GSX speaking to us. Okay, we can go ahead and set the parking brake on, and we'll wait now for the engines. We can actually come here to GSX, and we'll say confirm engine start. Good start on engines, so we can disconnect, and we'll be on our way momentarily. Okay, so now I suppose that we can change the okay, let's wait for we'll wait for the engines to start, and then we'll set our trim. Okay, looks like we have a good start there on the engines. All right, I'm not sure why we're unable to change the takeoff THS. It should be 36. We've already put this in the we've put it here at 36, but I'm not sure why we're unable to change it. I'm sure I've done it. I have a button mapped to it, and I've done it in a previous flight, but I'm not sure why it's not moving now. So that is really strange. Okay. So let's see here. Everything is good here. We have a good start, so we can come here and disconnect the APU and APU master. And if we look outside, we have the clearance now from ground crew. Just look at how beautiful the A380 is. Wow, look at that. Okay, taxi lights on. And everything else is good. Let's see if we can change it now. No, doesn't want to move. Actually, the two buttons on my joystick are not functioning for some reason. Not sure why, but let's see here. Is the flight control moving? Yeah, they are moving. Okay. Well, maybe after we set the flaps, we'll see. Okay, let's go to flaps 1. We're gonna arm the brakes. No, doesn't want to move. Okay. Now, the transponder, if you look into the FMS here and you go to serve, you see this one here. If you just click this here on auto, you can set this to TARA, and that way we can set the transponder. I'm really bugged about this. We need to set it to, because if you click now on takeoff config, it will warn you that the pitch trim FMC CG disagree. So that's what this is, and unfortunately I'm unable to move it here on my trim. I'm not sure why. It's really bugging me, but okay. Well, it is Dougal. It's an amazing aircraft, both in the sim and then for sure. Okay, so we're going to cancel the master caution, and we're just going to make sure takeoff is set here. And yeah, it looks like we can't set the pitch trim, so that's okay. And let's release the parking brake and head over to the runway. Okay, parking brake is released, ladies and gents, and off we go. I've also, I'm using 4 throttles, so it's a bit of a challenge to you know, move them all, because they span over a distance here on my table. So let's see here. I think I'm gonna switch back to my HOTUS throttle pretty soon. Just look at this beautiful view. Wow. All right, we want to go to 30 right. So clear left, clear right. All right, that's 30 right, so that's our departure runway. And we're just going to make a short stop here. All right, we're going to turn on the landing lights, runway turn-off lights, wing lights, why not, strobe lights, and the nose light to take off. And everything else is set. We can put this, doesn't do anything, but we'll do it. Now we don't need the taxi anymore, so we're going to go to 10. There we go. All right, and everything else is good with the exception of the takeoff trim, which for some reason I'm unable to set in this flight. I'm not sure why. Right, you can see here it says runway ahead, and the cabin crew is ready. We're going to turn on the clock, and there we go. That's our turn. Wow, look at that, guys. All right. Let me reset my view. All right. Let's go. Keep it on the center line. V1, rotate. Oh yeah. Positive rate of climb, gears going up. How about that, ladies and gents? Woo, beautiful. All right. Let's switch up. We can retract the flaps, disarm the speed brakes. Right. Alrighty, let's see here. Alright, thrust climb is set. Autopilot 1 is engaged. Wow, look at that, ladies and gents. What beautiful view here as we depart from Dubai International. Just gorgeous. All right, back in the cockpit. All is looking good here. We are just about to pass 10,000 feet. So we're going to turn off the landing lights. And those lights are off as well. By the way, engine mode selector should be on normal. And everything here is looking good. Let's change this back to FMS. And we're going to go to the flight plan. There we go. Excellent. And we'll put this on perf. There we go. And we are climbing now, as you can see. And we'll set this to 40 nautical miles. DB Vetter, how are you doing, my friend? Monkey Man Alive, welcome aboard. How are you, my friend? All right, 12,000, looking good. And 13,000 Barrow is standard. I adore this wing view. For an alpha stage, that's absolutely fabulous. I can't imagine how it will be with more features. Yes, I second that totally. The dedication is just phenomenal, and the fact that this is free. I mean, it's the only thing that I can compare this to is the Zibo 737. Of course, the Zibo is far more advanced in terms of the system simulation, but the Zibo is a project that's been there. It's been live for years now, so we can't compare the fidelity of both. But I am just really, really very, very excited about this. In fact, one of the things that makes me still love to fly in Microsoft Flight Sim is this Airbus A380. Just really, really nice. Really nice. We'll take a look at the cabin once we reach our cruise altitude. For the time being, I think we'll just, we'll just monitor the flight. Now, what I've noticed is that we can release the passengers, by the way. There we go. And they can use their mobiles if they so wish. Okay, all is good here. Very similar to the A350 in terms of the systems, the displays. So again, it wasn't very difficult for me to figure out how to configure the aircraft, just because I'm very used to the A350 and X-Plane, and the systems are very, very similar in both aircraft. We're starting to get spoiled by the quality of the most airlines. Yes, I would have to agree with you there, Dougal, because if we look at, for example, the TFDI MD-11, the 727 by Flight Sim Studios, the PMDG, the Phoenix, and of course all the great black square aircrafts that we've seen lately are all excellent aircraft, very high fidelity aircraft. Of course, not to forget the A2A Comanche. The Max I fly, yes, I haven't purchased the aircraft yet, but I will, and definitely will bring it here on the channel, and I'll tell you exactly what I think about it. So we are now flying in close proximity to the Emirates, flying north towards Kuwait International. 27,000 feet, so about 9,000 feet to go. MSFS has reached a decent stage in terms of systems fidelity in general. I look forward to upcoming 2024. Yes, I think we have seen very high fidelity aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and 2024 is a visual upgrade. My opinion is that it's a visual upgrade with a little bit more career mode, which is, it's been advertised as the biggest thing aside from the visual upgrade. I really am not a big fan of career mode and things like that. I just really like to fly aircrafts that are high fidelity and learn the systems, and and have something that flies, that resembles real life as much as possible. Also, the pay where people need to watch their game. There are a few freeware planes that do set the... Yes. Alex, yes, that's right. And that this aircraft would be one of them without a doubt. All right, so we can see the TC there. Okay, so one thing that I'd like to also show you guys, just these pages here. If you go to the engine page, you can see that it's modeled. The bleed, again, modeled exactly as you'd see it on the real A380. The cabin pressure, all of these values are computed with each flight. Here you've got the electrical AC power, and you can see the generators here on the aircraft, and whether it's on APU or Gen A, Gen B, and what have you. We've got the APU. Obviously, the APU is now turned off, so everything is off here. The air conditioning system, the upper deck, the lower deck, and the cargo compartment. I mean, this level of fidelity for a freeware aircraft is commendable. The door page we've seen earlier in the flight, and then we've got the DC. So we've got the AC and the DC electrics fully modeled here. We can clear that. There's this video. You can also go to STS, which is the status, and showing the status is normal. And then it automatically puts you back to this page. There's your fuel page as well, fully modeled. Your hydraulics, fully modeled. This is the page that we were at, and this is basically your flight control page, which shows the status of your pitch trim, your wings, and what have you, with all the data properly modeled. So in terms of the fidelity, I think this is really an aircraft that's been developed with a lot of finesse, with a lot of determination, I must say, from the guys over at FlyByWire. So I really salute them for, you've got your checklist, by the way, as well here. So you've got the full checklist here, and you've got it on your electronic flight bag as well. We're not going to be using the checklist today, of course. We'll leave it for some other flight. But suffice it to say that we are now at our cruise altitude, and it's a good time for us to take a look at the passenger cabin. MSFS again has the crappy device management. A320, the A380, and the Zibo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so let us take a look at the cabin. Now, I don't know if you guys have been on the A380 or not. I have. Oh, so this is not working. Oh, darn. I can't go to the cabin because my forward translation is not working. Why is that? You know what? Let me just check one thing real quick, guys, here. Let's see here. We're going to go to the yoke, and we're going to go to the camera. I'm not sure why. Translate cockpit forward. Why is it not there? Start scanning. Ah, something is off. And now it doesn't want to. All right, there we go. Let's just go back to the flight. All right, so we can do one thing. We can go to, let's see here. Is this the view? No. Is this the view? Yes, it is. Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do, folks, is we're going to use the drone camera to, I'm going to slow this down a little bit. All right, let's see here. There we go. Okay. So we are going to slow the drone camera and take a look at it this way, since it won't allow us to do the forward translation. And there you have it. Look at the seats here. Now, this is exactly what you'd see in Emirates business class. The upper deck is all business class, and they even modeled the USB and the electrical charge. You can see that there. Just really wonderfully modeled cabin. I'm going to move to the first class and show you guys. Again, the cabin is exactly as you'd find it in real life. They really nailed it. I mean, this is exactly how first class looks like on the A380. I had the pleasure of flying once first class on the A380, but normally I buy business class tickets when flying Emirates. Very, very nicely done cabin, really. Yeah, I'm not sure why my forward translation, that's those two buttons on my yoke aren't working for some reason. Maybe I need to reset the yoke or can disconnect it or something, but of course we're not going to do that today. Yeah, it's really, really nice aircraft overall, the fidelity. And by the way, for those of you who are experiencing they don't have sufficient VRAM, you can turn off the cabin by clicking here. If you click here, let me show you. If you click on this button here, it will hide the cabin, so it will save a little bit on VRAM, which is pretty cool. They really paid attention to the detail, haven't they? They certainly have, yes. In fact, let's do this. If we look this way here, yeah, I think here you have a look at the economy class as well. Again, very nicely done. Yeah. Really, really very nicely done. And here's the majestic wings of the A380. Very, very nice. Just lovely. You'll appreciate the flaps once we are ready to arrive into Kuwait and start configuring our flaps. You'll see the beautiful view with the flaps, fully deployed, which makes for just really incredible view of the aircraft. Sim Crash Flyer, welcome aboard, my friend. Hello to you. Good evening. Right, here we go. And now if you look at the constraints button, nothing shows here. Again, waypoints, VOR, NDB, airports, all of that is not implemented yet. But hopefully it will be. The other modes there of the display are modeled, so you do have those and you do have your plan there. I tried to add fixes. I don't think that it's implemented yet, but everything else is done. So normally if you go to Alex just gifted a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. 6 gifts. Thank you so much, Alex, for that. I appreciate it, my friend. And guys, if you've received a gift from Alex, please be sure to say thank you. Alex, thank you very much, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. We have also with us V Pilot. Welcome aboard, my friend. And we have also, I think that's Gary, isn't it? Hello, my friend. Welcome. I have also been hooked on the iFly Max. That would be something that I will get in the coming days. I really haven't had time. I've been very, very busy with work and what have you. So yeah, I haven't really had much time to play with the sim lately. We have with us 03T1 is it Joe? Well, thank you very much for being here, my friend. And a very good evening to you. Alex, thanks again for your support and your generosity and kindness, sir. I appreciate that very much. Okay, so we are at flight level 360 on our way to Kuwait. 19 minutes, so we are still quite a way, flying over the Persian Gulf. A nice day here in Kuwait, a little bit humid. We've had a lot of rain in Kuwait the last few days. The weekend was just lots and lots of rain, but very unusual for us here in Kuwait to have this much rain. But can't complain. Yeah, it's pretty good to to have some rain. And yeah, good evening to you, my friend. It really feels good to be able to stream again. I watched the YouTube interview with Ben Supnick at Leminar about the development of flight simulation generally. He said we are in for some great treats coming here. Yeah, I'm sure. Look, X-Plane and Leminar Research, the Flight Sim X-Plane 12 or the X-Plane franchise, generally speaking, has been a very successful franchise. The reason being, and I think the main thing that has led to its success. And by the way, it has not been affected by FSX, P3D, or MSFS. Yeah, it has lost probably a little bit of market share, but the flight simulator remains to be one of the strongest offerings in the flight sim genre. And the reason being is the blade element theory. The way the physics work in X-Plane makes it a sim that appeals to those who are very serious about flight physics. And not to say that Microsoft Flight Sim isn't, very close in terms of the physics, but X-Plane has this feel to it that makes it, it has an edge when it comes to the physics. And I think it is possible just because of the way the sim is built. Not to mention, of course, the open community that develops so much scenery for X-Plane. The high fidelity aircraft that we have for X-Plane makes it a serious contender in this genre in the flight sim industry, generally speaking. What we have also seen in recent years, I would say in the last couple of years, is that the advancement of the flight sim hardware. I mean, gosh, I have seen the Throttle Tech products. They are just like the real thing. We've seen again a lot of competition from new hype train has just started. Alex has done it again, gifting 5 tiers, 5 tier 1 subs to Q8 Pilot community. Total of 11. Oh, Alex, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. That's very, very kind of you. Guys, please be sure to say thank you if you have received a gifted subscription from Alex. Alex, thank you for your generosity and support, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You guys are great. By the way, you guys, a big shout out to all the moderators here on the channel: Dougal McTavish, Alex, Carl, Rand Cooley, Rashal, who is unable to join us this evening due to his university work. That is a great thing for us as enthusiasts. Yes, of course, Carl. Yes, of course. So the moderators on the Q8 Pilot channel are not just moderators. They are dear friends of mine, and their support to me personally has been unparalleled. So Stan, of course, I cannot forget Stan. Stan is actually the only one that I have met in real life. He was my wingman during FS Expo 2023 in Houston, Texas. Really enjoyed his company, and I have to come to the US, Stan, to take you out for dinner or lunch. I totally forgot the name of the restaurant we went to, but I have to tell you, it was awesome. Compliments of Mr. Stan. Yeah. Thank you very much again, Alex. Appreciate it. Okay, so the FlyByWire A380 is without a doubt it really is a game changer for flight simulation. Thank you, and a tip of thank you very much, Stan. Appreciate it, man. I really, I'm very fond of the time that we've spent in Texas. Come to Seattle, I'll take you around. No worries there, Carl. Yeah, for sure. We were scheduled, my son and I were scheduled to go to the U.S. For FS Expo 2024. We definitely had a lot of fun, Stan. Yeah, we definitely had a lot of fun. And more fun to come. So my son definitely wants to visit the U.S. Next year. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. We'll see what the circumstances are. at work, and all that good stuff. And we'll definitely make sure that we visit the States again. Maybe I'll bring the entire family this time. You can meet me. Yes, of course. Alex, yeah. I'll be more than happy to do that. Yeah, the moderators here on the channel are true friends, guys. And in this world, at this time, it's very difficult to find true friends, friends that are pure, that really support you just for the sake of you and nothing else. And for that, I am forever grateful, guys. And if I should say, guys, to all of you, I love you all. I love you all. Okay, so 40 minutes since we've pushed back from Dubai International, heading to Kuwait. And we should actually, if we look here at our flight plan, so let's zoom in here. We are at VLAC. So if we go there, so that's the TD. And yeah, we're not too far away from Kuwait International, 344 nautical miles. And we should begin the descent towards Kuwait International at about 190 nautical miles. So about 150 something nautical miles from our current location. That's when we're going to begin the descent towards Kuwait. Right now, if you look here, we'll see that we're flying again across the Persian Gulf. This is, I believe, the state of Qatar. And right there is probably Iran, I would think. Yeah. I'm really bummed out about my my yoke and the fact that you know, we're unable to do the forward translation. Maybe I need to disconnect the yoke and reconnect it again, but I'm not going to attempt to do that while on stream, so I'll just leave it. Some of us guys go back a long way. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. A very long time. Yeah. You know, Dougal, I'm still, I was looking over my, I opened up my Adobe Photoshop the other day, and I found the images that you've given me to create the, you know, the video and for the project, the Fly Wings, was it? I can't remember. Fly Wings, was it? So yeah, it was very nostalgic to find it, to find the images. I'm still very fond of the project. I think it was a brilliant project. So guys, for those of you who do not know, Dougal used to have a non-profit organization that strives to provide PCs and flight sim gear for those who cannot afford the hobby, cannot afford to have a PC to do flight sim. What a noble cause by a fine gentleman, really. Simwings, yeah, yeah. I found the old artwork that you've given me, and I think I still have the raw video that I've done for the channel. So that's very nostalgic. Yeah, brings some really nice memories. There are very few nice people in the world now. Yeah. Okay, so all is looking good here. And by the way, we're not flying in real time, but we are flying in real weather. The reason being is when everything's dark, you can't really see anything. But if you want me to change to real time, we can do that. It's just, I think it spoils all the nice scenery that we're able to see along the way. The route to Kuwait isn't very scenic, but I do like the approach into Kuwait International. It just really is very good. Okay, so while we are at it, let's go ahead and do the arrival setup. So we're going to go to Perf, and then we're going to select the approach, and we're going to take a look at our friendly Navigraph charts. By the way, guys, Navigraph has just announced the Navigraph Academy, which is going to have lessons to teach you how to fly in the sim, and I'm really excited about that. I think they used to have it earlier, but for some reason they removed that, and I think they're bringing it back now. So I'm quite excited about that. All right, we're going to go to Kuwait International, and the weather information is 0505 knots. So 050 and 5 knots for the wind. Excellent. The current temperature is 26. It is a little bit warm in Kuwait today, and the QNH is 1017, and that is also set. And we can go to the charts. We're going to go to runway 15, the ILS Zulu, runway 15 left. This is Evita. This is our transition into our final approach. And all right, so the barrow is 200 feet. So 200 is set. We're going to do flaps full, and we are pretty much good there. So everything is set for our arrival into Kuwait International. Okay, perfect. Back to cruise again. You'll see here normally in the A350 in X-Plane, the one by Flight Factor, you'll see the prediction to top of descent. Unfortunately, it's not implemented yet here. But what you can do is you can go to performance here, and you can sync that, and then it will tell you to start your descent about 113. I said 119 nautical miles. This one says 113. I suppose it's more accurate than my calculation by 6 nautical miles. So yeah, so this is how you'll begin. But anyway, this is again a 3-degree slope. But anyway, you'll see the top of descent mark here on the display. So not a big deal. This is Enoch at this time. So yeah, everything is good here. And I just love those colors there. The display, the LED display is done so well on the on this A380. Yeah. Here is a beautiful wing view there. How about that? Look at the details there on the wing. Lovely. I'll do the 119 to have a margin for smoother descent. Yeah, I think what we'll do, Carl, is we will follow the top of descent mark there on the display, and I think it will manage pretty well. I think it will be fine. The RJ aircraft by Just Flight is about to be released. I've received an email from Just Flight asking me whether I wanted to review the aircraft, having early access to it, which I have accepted with my heartfelt thanks to the team over at Just Flight. So you can see the fuel dump there. Again, good times. Flight simulation is really at its peak right now, with software, hardware, flight sims, just about everything that you need to immerse yourself in flight sim experience and really assuage your passion for flight. Is something that is very much doable now. I have to say that some of the hardware, and if you want to really have a nice setup, that it might be costly. So it's still not, it's not exactly cheap to have all this hardware set up, but nonetheless, it is available, and you can build your setup as you go, just to make sure that you don't break the bank. Okay, if we look down here now, now that we've done everything here, we'll go back to our flight plan. We can see that the top of descent is showing up here, so it means that we're getting pretty close. If we switch this here to 80, there we go. Someone has done something. The A380 vid from A380 is well worth a watch. He's a Dreamliner captain in real life. Yes, Dougal, I've seen the video. 5 in each wing and 1 horizontal stabilizer. Yeah. I've seen A320 Sim Pilot is really a good guy. I really enjoy his videos, and I love his demeanor. He's pretty calm, very collected, very honest. I do like his style. He's one of the few channels that I actually watch, and every time I watch his channel, I learn something from him. So I do like his channel quite a bit. All right, so we're flying, I think, in close proximity to Bahrain. Let's see where we are, guys. Let's see here. If we click here, it says the connector. All right, let's see if I can start the Simlink, Navigraph Simlink. There we go. Let's see if we can get it to work. There we go. Yeah. So if we look here, we are flying just right of the state of Qatar, and we're going to pass by the Kingdom of Bahrain, which is right here. Then, you know, on our way to Kuwait, passing through Al Khafji, Saudi Arabia, and then on to Kuwait. So we're not very far now from our destination. Another perhaps 30 minutes, and we should be arriving into Kuwait International. When I look at this A380, I feel heavy. That's a good one. Yeah. There was actually a very nice video from Captain Joe. The other day I watched a video. He compares the 747 with the A320 in terms of the system redundancy and the fly-by-wire system. Very, very interesting video on how the hydraulic system works in the 747 versus the A320. Now, one of the interesting facts is now, considering the time of when the 747-400 was made, was way back versus the A320, which is a more modern aircraft. Now, the fly-by-wire, from the name fly-by-wire, people would think that there is an actual wire, a physical wire connected between the flight controls and the rudder and the ailerons. And the fact is, there isn't any wires. There is a backup system which has all the pulleys and things like that in the A320 in case there is a total failure in the fly-by-wire system. But the way it actually works is that the input from the flight stick is translated electronically to the actuator, and the actuator then sends this information to a computer that then makes the changes to the controls via a wire. So the actual flight stick is not connected to the flight controls. Another interesting fact about how the yokes actually work, or the flight stick works in the... Now, by the way, in the 747-400, there is an actual polling, there's actual wires connected to the flight controls. Now, another very interesting difference between the two is in an Airbus A320, when the captains move the flight stick in opposite directions, they actually cancel out the they cancel themselves out. So if we say that the force is equal in opposite direction, the aircraft is going to do nothing. But there is actually a horn that sounds in the cockpit that warns them that there is dual input, and then the captain flying can actually take over the priority. It says side stick priority here. So he can click that to take over from the other person flying with them. Now, if they both move the stick in the same direction, then the force or the input will be doubled, so it will be added up. So if, let's say, a force, for the sake of argument, a force of 2 is applied on both sides, the final received information to the actuator will be 4. Whereas if they are in opposite direction and they go force 2, that would be 0. And so the aircraft will do nothing. As opposed to this, in the Boeing 747, the flight yokes are actually connected to one another. So if you move the yoke left or right, you'll see the other flight yoke also moving in exactly the same direction, which is pretty interesting, just considering how the technology has evolved, and how the fly-by-wire works. Another thing that is very, very interesting is when you apply a force on the side stick, you just need to apply it a little bit until the aircraft achieves the angle that you want. And then if you release the flight stick, the aircraft will continue in that same angle until you correct it again. So you move it to the right a little bit, the aircraft starts banking to the right, you release the flight stick, and the aircraft continues to bank to the right at exactly the same angle. Whereas in a 747, when you bank to the right by moving the flight yoke to the right, the aircraft starts banking to the right, but the minute you release it, the aircraft is going to fly level again. So there are some major differences between the Airbus A320 and Boeing, generally speaking. Pitch and roll input are set and maintained. Yeah. Thanks for the info there, Carl. Fun fact by Carl is that there are standards that planes meet to certify their fuel jettison or dumping systems. Oh, cool. Pitch and roll input are set and maintained. Yeah. Again, for those of you who do not know, Carl is type rated on many different aircrafts, so he's a real world pilot, and has extensive experience with aviation, generally speaking. All right, let's set this here back to 80. Now we can see the top of descent mark here. So we're not too far. We're at Ramsey. From Ramsey to Ornak, and from Ornak is the top of descent towards Kuwait. Let's take a quick look at the outside here. As you can see here, we're flying towards Kuwait, passing by Bahrain International. We are past Qatar now and flying. That's Bahrain, and Qatar is right there. Just look at this aircraft. By the way, the contrails are done so well. Look at that. Lovely. Just lovely. There you go. I think you can see them here. Yeah, they're done quite nicely. Very, very nice. Not an airline pilot. God bless those flying. Yes, absolutely. FlyByWire did a great job, but oh my god, that plane is ugly. Alex, again, thank you very much for the support, and thank you, Stan, for the support. Let's see if we can go back to as we arrive. I want you guys to have a beautiful approach. So let's see if we can maintain the a higher resolution there, because it just looks a whole lot better. So we'll see if that works. Just watch the turn as the aircraft turns. It feels heavy, even in the sim. One thing I did notice is that the speed brake, when you deploy the speed brake, you don't actually see anything on the wing. So if we deploy the speed brake, there isn't anything here. It is there. There we go. Just takes a while. It doesn't work though on landing. Even if the speed brake is armed, for some reason it doesn't show. I think this might be work in progress. According to my son, he said that this is work in progress. But an amazing piece of technology. Yes, it is. The least pretty Airbus out there. Again, a quick reminder for everyone here is that the Q8 Pilot channel is powered by Navigraph, the best tool that you can have in flight sim in terms of software, aside from your flight sim, is Navigraph charts. I wholeheartedly recommend Navigraph charts. It is really the Swiss knife of flight sim. Colin Mater is 79. Welcome aboard. My son is 11. Yeah, he's 11 years old. And he's been actually supplying me with all the good news because I have been very busy with work. So he has been my source of news. He tells me what's been released and what's not released. And Navigraph are doing truly amazing things behind the scenes. Yes, they are. And they are an amazing team. Really, they are wonderful. They are just a wonderful team. And to me, that's very, very important. With anything that I buy, knowing who's behind the product is very, very important for me. And the guys over at Navigraph are just really wonderful bunch of people. Including both the founder and the co-founder of the company, or the co-founders of the company. All right, so we are getting very close to top of descent, ladies and gents, and we are going to be landing runway 15 left. Just as a reminder, at Kuwait International. Let's take a quick look here at the weather and see if things have changed over at Kuwait International. As you can see here, no significant change in that. All right. So winds are 64 knots, visibility is great, temperature is 25, and the humidity is 61. It is a bit humid today in Kuwait. Cloud and visibility okay, so nothing really serious. We should be able to land without incident at Kuwait International. As you can see here, we are getting pretty close now to our destination, passing Qatar and the Kingdom of Bahrain over the Persian Gulf. To our left is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Originally, I wanted to do the flight from, I was going to do an Etihad flight from Abu Dhabi to Jeddah, but then I realized that my very good friend, Captain Canada, has done that exact route. So, ladies and gents, my very old good friend Rand Cooley is in the house. Welcome aboard, my friend. How are you doing, Rand? Very glad to have you here this evening with us, Rand. Glad you could make it. You know, Rand, I realized a few days ago that I was supposed to respond to your email. And I'm very sorry that I did not reply to your email that you've sent to me last July. I'm sorry, I do not monitor that email frequently, so I missed that. So I know you're a very forgiving soul, Rand, so all right, there, look at that view, ladies and gents. Wow. I mean, having the A380 in the sim is just like a dream. And by the way, there is an A380 for X-Plane by Peter Hager, which I definitely, most definitely, without any doubt, do not recommend that you spend any money on it because it's just not worth it. So don't even go there, guys. Don't buy it. Rafal 303, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Yes, it is the first professional A380. Yeah, I would have to second that. All right, so I'm actually waiting to see. I think there is an A350 coming out for MSFS by Indie Builds. So let's see what they come up with. All right, so we are at 36,000 feet. We are very close to top of descent now. If we change this to 40 nautical miles, there you can see here, that's the top of descent. So I'm going to reset the MCP altitude, and we can take a quick look at our charts here for Kuwait International, and 2,000 feet is the platform altitude. Transition altitude in Kuwait is 13,000 feet. So let's reset our altitude here to 2,000 feet, which is the platform altitude. I love the displays there. Very, very nicely done. And we are going to turn on the landing system on. We can leave the auto, well, let's set the auto brake actually to 3. There we go. And we are pretty much ready for the descent. Look at that. Just really beautiful view of the A380 there. That wing view is just amazing. Bill Barrett, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. Those engines are just superb. Right, back in the cockpit. We're almost there at the top of descent mark. And we're going to begin our descent now to Kuwait International Airport. Everything has been already set up for our approach and landing. Go to 20. I think we can actually start. Okay, so we are going to click here, nav descent, and the aircraft now is going to begin the descent towards our destination. You know, that's something I've always wondered about. Is the 380 in pretty good shape? Yeah, it is in pretty good shape. Yes, Bill. Yeah, I mean, this is something... there is actually fictional Kuwait Airlines livery for this A380 in flights. Oh, really? Oh, how cool is that? Yeah, it's one of the things I always wondered. The Airbus is highly automated, but then the top of descent is something that you have to induce, which is a little bit strange. I agree there with you. But you need a pretty hefty PC. Yeah, you do need a hefty PC. See, so if you look here at the performance, if I look at the FPS right now, we're getting about 80 FPS, 82 FPS, and that's considered very low for this type of scenery. So normally in the Phoenix A320, just by comparison, I get about 130 FPS at this very location here just before I arrived into Kuwait International. So this aircraft is very, very resource hungry. Yeah. That's a nice one there. It's just a safety thing, Alex. Make sure the pilots are still awake after doing nothing for so many hours. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a good philosophy. Lovely. We are now descending 30,000 for 2,000. I did the previous flight that I did to test things out. I did it with Say Intentions, and I must say that I was really impressed by the latest updates to Say Intentions. Those guys are really putting AI to very good use. I believe that Say Intentions is by far the best AI ATC available today, and the sounds are phenomenal. Sometimes you actually lose you lose track of the fact that you're talking to an AI. You feel like you're talking to real humans. It's really that good, and I really am enjoying it very much. There is a reason that most Airbus pilots are not allowed to bring their personal laptops and yeah. They're always overworked, that's for sure. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. 28,000 for 2,000. We are approaching Kuwait. I'm just really bummed out that we didn't get to the Det 3 Delta. That would have been a beautiful approach by Kuwait Towers. But yeah, that's okay. All right, so everything is looking good here. And we continue our descent towards our destination. Everything is looking good. As a reminder, the A380 has reversers only on engines 2 and 3. So the inner engines are the ones with reversers, and the outer ones do not have reversers. This is simulated as well here. So only those two engines have a reverse thrust. All right, looking good, 26,000. And if we look outside here, we can see, again, Al-Khafji in Saudi Arabia. And we'll be in Kuwaiti airspace in no time. It's very cool, but subscription-based. Yes, it is. I'll have to look into that. I think you can download a demo, so you can download a 24-hour demo and test it out and make sure that you're happy with it before you make the subscription. I think the price has gone down also, so yeah, you can definitely try it out. And the new addition of having cabin crew and your co-pilot is again really nice. So it really brings that level of immersion up. You can speak to your first officer. You can ask him to take care of the radio communications for you, which is very cool. Now look at this cockpit. Look at that. I mean, this is really cool. Look at that. Very nice indeed. Let's take a look at the there's your wing view. There. Just absolutely gorgeous. All right. 23,000 for 2,000. We're approaching Kuwait now from the south. All right, looking good. Yeah, price went down a bit, and you have a buy once version now for 35 US dollars, but that's OFC Lite version. Oh, okay, I see. I have these. I've subscribed to the yearly one, the annual plan. If you want XP as well, you need to subscription. Yeah, XP is also supported, so you can actually use it for X-Plane or Microsoft Flight Sim. Works exactly the same way, but definitely worth the money. Definitely worth the money. I mean, if you don't like VATSIM, or if you're because VATSIM isn't always available. Or IVAO, so the coverage is not always optimal for those online ATC programs. The Say Intentions is without a doubt a great alternative. Oh, so the buy once is only for MSFS. Oh, gotcha. I would be very hesitant with providing voice to add-ons if someone knows your real world identity. It's quite well possible to have some of those voices. Well, they use just on that note, when they use your voice, you will not be able to recognize that it's actually your voice because they edit these voices a little bit. So they change them beyond recognition. So when you hear the voice, when you hear your voice, when used, if used, and when used, it will be very different. You will not be able to recognize it. Good evening, Red Nest Pilot. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. This A380 looks beautiful, and for me, flies well. I donated to FlyByWire. So impressed that yes, it is, and thank you for your contribution to the FlyByWire team. They deserve it. They deserve every support possible for creating such a beautiful aircraft, totally free, and with high system fidelity as well. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things are not there yet, but with time, just like their A320, I'm sure that it will, that more systems will be simulated and the aircraft will be optimized. This is only an alpha at this point, so it's just really great, and it's great to finally have an A380 to fly in a flight sim. I mean, a decent A380. I mean, yeah. You got to really, commend them for their work. All right, here we are, ladies and gents. Look at this beautiful view here as we approach Kuwait. Clear skies here today, and everything is looking in tip-top shape for our arrival. One thing that bugs me in Microsoft Flight Sim is you can't really see the strobe lights. I mean, you can see it flickering there, but yeah, it's just with all aircraft. You can see the beacon though. Just really beautiful. All right, so before we arrive, standard. All right, so let's set the baro. Let's go. All right, 1017 is set. So guys, let me ask you this. Do you want to do the replay immediately after we land, or do you want to do the replay after we park the aircraft at the gate? I mean, the A380X is freeware alpha, and one could argue it's already on par with middle-class payware on final build. I agree with that. I work in risk management. It's quite a hot topic in my field of work. Yeah, it is. It is actually better than some plane where after shutdown. All right, Rafal, no worries at all. All right, 13,000, looking good. And we can see the turn here, which is going to take us over to Kuwait port, and then we're going to make the right turn for runway 15 left. We are now entering Kuwaiti airspace, and things are looking good. We can see the oil refineries here. Look at that. Those are the oil refineries. You can see the fire there coming out. And this is, by the way, exactly what you'd see in Kuwait coming into this, coming from this route. You'll see the oil refineries there, looking really, really nice. There, I think you can see it better this way, right there. This is Al Khafji, Saudi Arabia. $11,000, and we can see the speed is going down. I've never had any issues with the VNAV on the aircraft. I would love to see the now you can see the restrictions, by the way. So it looks like this is implemented. I can see the restrictions now. It's 3,000 right there. All right, 10,000 feet. We're going to come over here and turn on the landing lights. And we're going to turn on the fasten seatbelt signs and ask the passengers to turn off their mobile phones. Look at this beautiful wing view there. I don't know if we can see the 3D lights, but the lights, yeah, you can't see them now, but during a foggy approach, you'll be able to see the beautiful lighting that FlyByWire implemented on this aircraft, and those lights look absolutely gorgeous. 3D lights, of course, so it's done very, very well. $900,000. We are at 250 knots. We're almost there now. I believe both of you, Rand, both you and Carl were in the Gulf War, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like an easy plane to fly. I may have to reinstall MSFS. It is, actually. It is. It's not very complicated to fly. So yeah, I think you will really, really enjoy it. Okay, thrust is idle. And we are now flying over Kuwait. More oil refineries there. You can see the smoke coming out. And right over here as well. If I zoom in, you'll see the fire coming out of the oil refineries. Very, very accurate. The placement of these oil refineries is very accurate. And the green island is somewhere over there. The towers are over there. And that's the airport right there. The nicer approach would be the one that takes us over to this side here and make the turn to runway 15 left. Right, we're going to go to 20 here. We are at 8,000. Hello, Mickey 332,000. To think that this plane is free to me is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. I've got most airlines for 3 SIMs, and I have to say this A380 has really impressed me. Yes, it is very impressive. Very, very impressive. They really have done a good job with the aircraft. And look at the beautiful lighting as well. I mean, look at the lighting here. It looks really, really nice. All right, let's do a final check here. We have all our data entered there. The auto brake is set to 3, and everything else, landing system is on. Everything is in tip-top shape for our approach. We continue our descent. The ILS frequency has been automatically tuned 110.10. We are about 17 nautical miles from our destination. What a beautiful view. Look at that. That just looks beautiful. If you are interested in the scenery for Kuwait International, just type in chat !ARR, which is for arrival, and you should be able to get the link. This is a freeware airport of Kuwait International and City, one of the best freeware scenery out there, modeling the entire airport and the city to a great accuracy, a great level of accuracy. About, I would say, 90% accurate. Thank you very much there. That's the link to Kuwait International. And the Dubai International Airport that we flew from this evening is that of any builds. Again, available through the chat command !DEP for departure. You are also able to get the flight route through !RTE. Thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate that. So those are the two airports that you can basically download if you want to fly this approach or fly the fly this route. A nice real-world route that was decommissioned and has been, the A380 has been substituted by the 777 for this route from Dubai to Kuwait. But I've decided to recreate the experience again today. And you can always get the weather by typing !weather followed by the ICO code for the city. So if you want to get the current METAR information, just type !weather space and then the ICO code for the airport that you want to get the weather for. All right, here is the arrival at Kuwait. We're almost there. This is Iveta. It's giving you the weather for some other city, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so we are at 3,700. There is a restriction at 3,000. The airport is now to our right. So if we go out, here's the airport right there, and you can see Kuwait City far in the distance there. The Kuwait Towers is right over there. Just look at that. And by the way, when you get the scenery, you'll get also all of this part of the scenery. So there is a mesh that goes with the scenery, all available free of charge when you download Kuwait International Airport. Very, very nice, scenery of Kuwait. That tall tower there, let me show you there. So that tall tower is one of the tallest in Kuwait. That's Al Hamra Tower. Right there, and then you've got Crystal Tower here somewhere, and that's the Liberation Tower. So yeah, they've modeled, the developer has really modeled Kuwait with a lot of finesse, and he keeps on improving. The last update came out a few days ago. So if you like to fly in this part of the world, I highly, highly recommend this scenery, which is again free of charge. So highly recommended scenery. Okay, so we are almost there, ladies and gents, and we are now at 3,000 feet, almost. And there is a restriction here at 3,000, and then we're going to begin the descent. You will see that we're going to pass over the sea, so we're going to get out there and make the turn back to the airport. So on our way back, we should be able to have a nice view of the city here at this time of the day, which is a lovely, lovely approach. It says waypoint restriction, altitude restriction. So again, that is again modeled, and I'm very impressed that they've actually modeled this. Again, let's make this 10. And we are almost there now, folks. Okay, we continue now the descent. We're out of the restriction. All right, and at this point, we can go to flaps 1. Flaps 1 is set. Listen to those sounds. Beautiful. Here's a better look at the city. And we'll be able to see it a lot better once we make the turn. Any chance you will stream the Just Flight PA28 Turbo Arrow? Yep, for sure. The sounds are quite good, yes, I have to agree. And here is Kuwait Port, or the Free Trade Zone. Again, you can see all the refineries there. That's the port. And we're going to begin the turn momentarily here. And then we'll activate the approach. Right, here's the turn. And we're going to come here and activate the approach. Cat 3. Hold's looking good. Oh, look at that. You have got to adore this view. Wow. All right. I think you can see the city a lot better here. So that's the city right there. And that's Alhambra Tower. The Kuwait Tower's right there. Liberation Tower right here. And that's Kuwait International. All right. Let's come over here and
2,500.
Let's see here. Okay, let's go to perf, activate approach, confirm. Looking good. And here is a look again at the city as we arrive into our destination. Let's switch to outside view. Look at that. Wow. I'm over the moon. All right, here we go. 15 left. We are looking good. We're going to go to flaps 2. And here is a better look at the city. I don't know if you can spot the Kuwait Towers over there, but that's the city where I'll be heading in the morning for work. Right, we can see the diamond here moving, and time to lower our landing gear. Landing gear is coming down. How about that, ladies and gents? Wow, look at those lights. All right, here's what we're going to do, folks. We are going to... Ooh, I forgot to... Let me do this. Hang on one second. Experimental replay tool on. You don't want to miss that now, do you? All right, let's... Come on. Why is it not coming? There we go. Replay. Let's start recording. Perfect. Okay. So we're looking good here. What happened to our flaps? All right, let's go flaps full. Let's arm the speed brakes. There we go. Okay. Not sure what happened to our flaps, but yeah, there we go. Looking good. We'll disconnect at about 1,000 feet. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful, guys. We'll do it in the replay just after we shut down the aircraft. All right. Almost there. Let's go ahead and disconnect the autopilot right now. Right, so autopilot disconnected. My aircraft.
1,000.
Looking good. Little bit of wind. Not much.
$400.
To our right is the Emiri terminal, or the VIP terminal.
$100 above. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Reverse screen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kuwait International Airport. All right.
Auto brake off.
And we've made it. What do you guys think of the landing there? I don't know why we didn't even get the landing rate, which we normally get with FlowPro, but this time we didn't get it. Right, let's retract the flaps. Beautiful. The sounds are just amazing. All right, here's our turn. What do you guys think of the landing today? I thought it was pretty good. All right, let's do taxi lights. We can turn off all the other lights. Strobe lights go to auto. And let's turn on the APU master. Wow, look at how majestic this aircraft looks. It's just absolutely beautiful. Very nice scenery too. This all looks realistic. Yes, it does, I have to say. Looks really, really good. Right, we can stop the clock. 1 hour, 26 minutes. So we are on time arrival today at Kuwait International. Those wing views. Look at that wing flex. Wow. Right, so we need to make a turn right over there, right before the Amiri terminal. But look at the lighting inside the cockpit is just really, really very well done. I mean, this looks absolutely gorgeous. Right, let's start the APU. Thank you, Sim Crash Flyer, for being with us this evening. We'll do a replay of our landing in just after we shut down the aircraft engines. I think we need to leave it on, though, for the replay, don't we? Yeah, I think we need to leave it on. I'm not really sure if we can do the replay with after we turn off the engines. Right, here we go. Wow, I have to say I'm really impressed by this aircraft and by the FlyByWire team for creating this really amazing rendition of the A380. Very, very nice indeed. Very enjoyable, fun to fly, not overly complicated, quite nice. I'm just really bummed out I didn't get the Flow Pro. You know, I normally get the landing rate there. Not sure why we didn't get any of it today. It's not even working. All right, here's the terminal. So we are going to bring the aircraft to a stop somewhere here. Huge looking aircraft, the A380, just massive. All right, we are at the gate. Parking brake is set, and we can turn on the APU bleed. We can turn off the taxi lights, and we can now turn off the engines. There we go. And what we can do as well is we can come up here and we can stop the recording. Oh, it didn't record? Oh, come on. Well, folks, it looks like we did not record anything. I felt that it recorded, but it looks like it did not record anything. So I assume this gets seal of approval. Yeah, of course. I was mid-flight when I typed airport ICO, hit my AP disconnected, and I couldn't reconnect again. Yeah, something must have gone wrong there with the with my GoPro, and then I'll have to check it out later. Okay, I can't even do anything here, so let me do GSX. Even that is cheap. That's really strange. Okay, well, we are going to turn off the fasten seat belts, and APU is running. We can turn off the beacon lights. Nav lights are off, and yeah, all is good here. We don't need external power, so unfortunately we're going to be unable to simulate the passengers, the deboarding, for some reason. Let me see if I can, if I come to GSX. There we go. Okay, request deboarding. There we go. Will it work? Doesn't look like it. Well, very sorry, guys. We were, looks like the replay did not record anything. Although I did hit record, it doesn't seem like it recorded anything, so that's my bad. But nonetheless, a very pleasant flight today. I really... you pressed it definitely. Yeah, I know that I did, but for some reason this has been weird because a lot of the things that should work did not work with this flight. But nonetheless, it was enjoyable. I definitely enjoyed being with you guys. It was a lot of fun bringing this big bird for the second time here at Kuwait International, my hometown. So I really enjoyed the company, and I enjoyed this A380 by FlyByWire. Before I conclude, I have to say thank you to all of you that has been supporting me. Thank you for being on the stream, and many thanks to every single person that has worked on the FlyByWire aircraft over the years. I think that this is, it really is a game changer, and it is really commendable the amount of work and dedication that FlyByWire has put into this aircraft, and their A320neo as well. Let us not forget that this is their second aircraft, and it is equally impressive and quite fun to fly. Highly recommend it. Free aircraft. Thank you very much, guys, and until we meet again, please take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for tuning in. Good evening.